What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Invincible Thursdays with your boy Baldbeard Combo. Today we are recapping chapters 81 and 82. Let's get into it. Chapter 81 kicks off right where we left off. Las Vegas has been wiped off the map as news reports thousands of citizens missing despite hundreds of thousands being saved. Mark is with Eve as he takes full accountability for the events despite everything he tried to do to stop it. Cut to Powerplex having a minimal crash out, hearing the news with his new teammates, the Actioneers, another reformed team of former supervillains. Cut to Eve and Mark still talking about the events in Las Vegas, with Mark really contemplating a different way for him to approach these events, while Cecil, the Brit, and Donald are talking about the changes that their enemies are making to become more dangerous. Cecil still isn't 100% on Mark since their encounters in the previous chapters, but Brit rushes to Mark's defense, telling him that he also has failed missions and they should cut him some slack. Dinosaurus' gear is found near a crater as David Anders barely avoids the police. Mark and Eve are out patrolling as they catch a new criminal with the Gravitator's gear trying to rob a bank. Mark and Eve stop this new grunt and Mark tracks down our boy Chris, the former Gravitator from chapter 79. Mark tries a new approach and brings Chris to Cecil, hoping that he can get paid for his natural talents. Cecil makes a dig at Mark, saying, "Hey, you're finally coming around with my way of thinking," as Mark credits that to his recent experiences and getting older. Cut to Mark flying back home as he is stopped by Powerplex yet again. Once again, he is trying to be the one to hold Mark accountable, but Mark finally sets him straight. While all these tragedies that have happened, he does feel remorse and regret, but trying to blame Invincible for the death of his wife and his child isn't it, since it 100% is Powerplex's fault. Powerplex snaps out of it and he finally has a breakthrough, being able to forgive Mark. Cecil checks in on Mark, asking if he's okay and if he can count on him, as Mark flies away telling them that he can, but not on the payroll. The chapter ends with Eve and Mark having another conversation about even though he does the hero role to help people, but the more he helps, the worse things get. Chapter 82 kicks off with the one and only Rex number 2, formerly Robot. Last we saw him, he jumped in a portal going after the Flaxons back in chapter 71, as we find out that he's been gone for 12 years, helping and preventing the Flaxons from invading again. Cecil briefs Rex number 2 on recent events, letting him know that things have changed and that he's going to need his help to run all of the hero teams on Earth. Rex, aka Robot number 2, accepts. What could go wrong? Cut to Mark back at the Stronghold prison as we revisit another former foe of Invincible, the one and only Universa. Mark tries to continue his streak of helping and reforming instead of just fighting, talking to Universa on how he can help her bring power back to her home planet. After a back and forth, Universa finally yields and accepts Mark's help. Cut to another combo between Duplicate and Eve, and to be honest, Kate is a grade A1 hater. I can't stand her for being a terrible friend to Eve. We are back at the Pentagon as our chill guy, David Anders, turns himself in to Cecil, explaining to them what happened and what triggers his transformations. Mark and Cecil help Universa come to an agreement and help her out as she finally heads back to her planet. Cut back to Rex number 2 as he briefs the Guardians with his eyes wandering to Monster Girl, who looks more like Monster Woman at this point. The chapter ends with Cecil inviting Mark to the Pentagon, again to wipe the state clean, and put all the secrets on the table. How will Mark react? Lock in for next week for chapters 83 and 84, Invincible recaps with your boy, Ballbeer Combo. Peace.